What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. What's up, Lou? Everybody. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. What's up, Camlish? We'll give him another minute, y'all, and we'll get started. How about that? We're gonna go and jump into this. All right. How about we begin? Now, the title of today's lecture is called Blood Codes. You see what I'm saying? Let's discuss the secrets of the blood. Now, of course, since we're discussing the secrets of the blood, we got to ask ourselves, what is blood? Blood is liquid plasma, also known as liquid soul, right? Now, what makes blood so powerful is it houses our genetic or ancestral memories inside it. Because in every red blood cell is genetic memory. You see what I'm saying? And of course, it flows all throughout your body. What is the body? that the blood flows through, the anatomical system. You know what it is? The circulatory system. See what I'm saying? That's what blood flows through. The circulatory system. Right? Now, you have two main aspects of the blood. You have the arteries and the veins. The veins do what? Carry blood to the heart. And you have, of course, do I got a picture of the heart in here? Yeah, I'm in the brain. You go your blood circuits, you know, your blood circuits. Let's see here. I probably have to go to the chapter on cardio. Here go the heart. Here we go. Here you go. Here go the heart. Right. So you got the veins that carry blood to the heart, and then you got arteries which carry blood from the heart. Right. And so the heart regulates pretty much all your blood flow, and then you have, you know, blood. You have veins inside your brain as well that the heart pumps to also. So the heart pretty much regulates all your blood for the most part, to and from. See what I'm saying? So now, with that being said, we know that the circulatory system is a very vital system for your blood flow, right? Now, we know what veins do, we know what arteries do. So what are red blood cells? You know, what you know, these cells that the blood is composed of. And they are cells made up of hemoglobin, which are the proteins inside red cells. Red blood cells carry oxygen, which is now transferring back to hydrohelium throughout the body, while simultaneously carrying carbon dioxide to the lungs for expulsion from the body. That's their primary job, to carry oxygen into and throughout the body through the lungs. They carry carbon dioxide to the lungs for expulsion. You see what I'm saying? That's why we tell you just breathe. So you actually, when you're in meditation, you actually enhance the breath intake of your lungs, giving you more oxygen in the physical body, allowing your physical body to operate and function at a higher level. You see what I'm saying? That's why meditation is so important. Now, of course. So now let's see here. Let me show you a picture of the red blood cells. Of course, you know, can't go too far without knowing what they look like, or at least having an idea of what they look like, right? Let's see here. Red blood cells. Just give us a picture here. Just give us an idea. It look a little something like this. Yeah. This is what they look like. That is bright. Very bright. They look like that. Red blood cells. So hemoglobin is the protein inside your red blood cells which advances the oxygen. And of course, hemoglobin has what? Iron in it. Iron actually helps, you know, bring more oxygen into it. That's why I tell you how to get that iron. You see what I'm saying? Now, of course, we got another defect in the blood called hemophilia, which is vampirism. A disorder in the body in which your blood doesn't clot normally because it lacks sufficient blood clotting proteins, or known as the clotting factors, or in other words, it lacks hemoglobin. That's why a lot of vampires in this world that we live in, not just in movies, in this world that we live in, need blood, because they don't have the hemoglobin doesn't continue to reproduce itself when it gathers nutrients in the body. It doesn't regenerate itself like the natural being's blood do. So that's what you got going on here. So this is what we talking about when we dealing with hemoglobin versus hemophilia. You see what I'm saying? A lot of beings have this. So yeah. What does chlorophyll do to blood? Liquid chlorophyll is plant blood. You see what I'm saying? And it actually it's rich in copper, which actually supercharges your melanin, known as melanocytes in your body, allowing you to. And melanocytes, if you know anything about them, actually regulates energy in your body, so it keeps your body supercharged. You see what I'm saying? That's solar energy. But we're gonna get into the plants later. Now, what are blood types or groups? A blood type is a classification of blood based on the presence and absence of antibodies and inherited antigenic substances on the surface of red blood cells. In other words, your blood types are actually inherited. You get 1/3 of the genetics from your mother, 1/3 of the genetics of your father, and 1/3 of the genetics that you yourself have that you naturally have for your own natural being, right? And so you get all three of these, and you get these blood types, different blood types in your body that becomes predominant in your body that helps with your genetic makeup and intelligence, right? Blood intelligence. So now, blood types are inherited and represent contributions from both parents plus your own natural blood. There are a total of 36 human blood group systems and 346 antigens are now recognized by the International Society of Blood Transfusions. Let's see here. Blood group systems is the main of all blood types within the body. You see what I'm saying? The mapping of all blood types in the body. My bad. Blood group system is the mapping of all blood types within the body. Major blood types: A, B, AB, AB, A, B, AB, O, and then you have the RH, the rhesus system, and they bring you another 4 blood types, which I have a video for that we gonna talk about. You see what I'm saying? That we about to talk about. Let them discuss it because they can explain it better than I, because that's their area of expertise. So here we go.
A blood type refers to the presence or absence of a certain marker or antigen on the surface of a person's red blood cells. For example, in the ABO system, presence of A or B antigen gives type A or B. Presence of both antigens gives type AB, while their absence gives type O. Blood typing is critical for blood transfusion, as there are very specific ways in which blood types must be matched between a donor and recipient for a safe transfusion. The rule is simple. Patients should not be given antigens that their own blood does not have. This is because the recipient's immune system may recognize any new antigen as foreign and develop antibodies to target it for destruction. Depending on the scale of the triggered immune response, the reaction can be serious or fatal. Applying the rule, a type A patient who is negative for B antigen can only receive blood from type A and type O donors whose blood does not contain B antigen. A type AB patient having both antigens can receive blood from anyone, while a type O person being negative for both A and B can only receive from type O donors but can give blood to anyone. Another important system is the RH system, for which D antigen or RH factor is best known. The blood type for this antigen can be either Rh positive or Rh negative. By the same rule, a Rh negative patient cannot receive blood from a Rh positive donor, while the reverse direction is fine. Each of the 4 types of the ABO system can be Rh positive or negative. This gives 8 possible combinations, the 8 basic blood types everyone knows about. But ABO and RH are only a fraction of the 35 currently known blood group systems, many of which can cause serious reactions during transfusion if mismatched. Altogether, there are hundreds of antigens, giving rise to a gigantic number of possible blood types. A fully specified blood type should describe the complete set of antigens that a person has. In theory, this list must be determined for both donor and recipient before a transfusion can take place. In reality, however...
Now I want to stop there. She said that there are 35 blood group systems, meaning there's more than the standard 8. You see what I'm saying? There are other people with other blood types that are not well known that they won't really talk about because they feel like it's not, they don't want you to know that there's multiple, but you just Wikipedia that shit. They give you the other blood types. You see what I'm saying? But not very many people have those blood types. And there are many different things about blood types we're going to go over after this video. So
most people only need to care about their ABO type and Rh factor. The ABO and Rh systems are the most important in blood transfusion for 2 reasons. First, most people can produce robust antibodies against A, B, and D antigens, which may not be the case for other antigens. In fact, anti-A and anti-B antibodies are usually developed during the first year of life. Second, the 8 basic blood types are distributed in comparable proportions that makes mismatching a likely event. Most other antigens occur at such frequencies that only a very small subset of patients is potentially at risk. For example, if 99.99% of a population is positive for a certain antigen and only 0.01% is negative, only that tiny fraction of negative patients is at risk regarding that antigen. To account for possible incompatibility outside ABO and Rh, an additional test is usually made before a transfusion. A blood sample from the patient is mixed with a sample of donor blood, and the mixture is examined for clumps. No clumping means a compatible match.
So there y'all go. There y'all go. The 8 major blood types and the blood group systems. You see what I'm saying? Transfusion, how it works, why it works, everything. Now, RH means rhesus. You know, they used to connect that with monkey blood back in the day, which they have actually found out is false. You know, some crazy ass scientists came up with that idea back in the day. Now, when we're dealing with rhesus, check this out. While it is known that RH, rhesus negative blood, type O is the purest blood known to mankind, it is not known for where the negative factor originates, as it generally theorized by evolutionists that there is an unbroken bloodline from early human prototypes, pre-humans, non-sentient mammals or mammals, just say MM, to present-day human beings. Geneticists generally claim the rhesus negative factor or RH factor is a mutation of unknown origin, which apparently happened only a few thousand years ago, 6,000 years, which is around 4,004 BC. Adam and Eve being the Elohim, Genesis type O negative, Genesis progenitor MM. Yet 83% of all human beings have rhesus positive blood, which merely indicates that their red blood cells contain a substance called the rhesus blood factor. Simply put, their positive blood contains a protein that can be linked to they haven't updated this one yet, but to the it has nothing to do with the rhesus monkey. It's just a genetic mutation that happened over time. It's acknowledged that the blood factors are transmitted with more exactitude than any other human or animal characteristics. The RH negative blood people spread heavily into the area of what is now Spain, England, Ireland, and France. So yeah. So there you go. There you go. And of course, you know, there's a lot of royal blood in France anyway, because O is the type O is supposed to be called royal blood, right? So this what you got going on here. A blood type is a classification of blood based on the presence and absence of antibodies and inherited antigenic substance of the surface of red blood cells. Antigenes is interesting too, because it's like, according to them, let me put it up real quick. Let me pull up the definition of antigenes, which is a very interesting concept as well for these blood types. Let's see. Antigen is definitely any substance that can stimulate the production of antibodies and combine specifically with them. So antigens are actually sort of like your defense system. You see what I'm saying? Around your blood. You see what I'm saying? They produce antibodies which fight off foreign entities or foreign agencies inside of you. And they linked heavily with your immune system. So that's what antigens do. So I wanted to really go over it. So yeah, let's continue here. Yeah, rhesus has nothing to do with monkey blood. Rhesus is simply an inherited protein found on the surface of the red blood cells. If you have it, you are rhesus positive. If you don't, you rhesus negative. The rhesus blood system consists of 49 defined blood groups antigens. Blood types can be changed due to extreme conditions. That's another thing they don't tell you. Blood types can actually be changed. When extreme conditions happen, you get sick. You may perform alchemy on yourself or something like that. It usually deals with this particular shift in your blood type. So definitely, this blood thing is something serious. And so when your blood type shift, then that's when you, I believe your blood type shift anyway over time, because the older you get, the more your taste changes, the more experience you gain. You know, not everything is set in stone like these scientists want you to believe, these cabal scientists. Everything changes, even your blood. So you may be born with AB in the beginning, but you may die with an O type. You see what I'm saying? There's no guarantee here. Because you go through so much shit down here, it literally triggers genetic mutations inside of you. So due to the extreme conditions that you have. Next, you can have two major blood types, which is known as dual blood types. You can have like two major blood types. You can have AB and O at the same time. They're not telling you about that as well. So definitely, you can have AB flowing through your blood, and then you can have H flowing simultaneously as well. See what I'm saying? Or B or O, whatever. You know, it's multiple blood types. It's not just those 8 that they talk about. They say it's 35. So they only focus on those 8 because most humans, as they say, have them. But we all know there's many star seeds down here, and star seeds are defining the system. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, Tanika Wills is type O, the original blood type. No, RH Null is the original blood type. Type O is the next level, the evolution of RH Null. We're going to get into RH Null in a second. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, there are rare types of blood that scientists don't talk about. Like I said, they just focus on mainly the major 8. Because according to them, humans mainly have the major 8, the big 8. You see what I'm saying? You know, A, B, O, and B. You see what I'm saying? Both positive and negative. So, yeah. Next, you got rhesus null or RH null, which is known as the golden blood. They say only 43 people in the world have this. It's the rarest blood type. But this is actually the Titan blood or the God blood. And it is linked to what the Asians call the golden chief. So let's talk about this for a second. See what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. I got a video for y'all on that one, where they go in on this.
Most of us already know our blood type, whether it's A, B, AB, or O, and whether it's positive or negative. But did you know that there is a blood type so rare that only 43 people on Earth have ever been reported to have it? This blood group is known as RH null, and scientists are calling it the golden blood type. Things would be straightforward if we all had the same blood type, but we don't. On the surface of every one of our blood cells, we have hundreds of antigens, which are the molecules that are capable of triggering the production of specialized proteins called antibodies. It is the presence or absence of particular antigens that determines someone's blood type.
For example, you may have AB blood in the ABO blood group system, be Rh positive in the Rh system, as well as being K positive in the Kel system, and so on. Of the 32 blood group systems, the Rh system is the largest, containing 61 antigens. Interestingly, 99.9999994% of people in the world have blood with Rh antigens on their red blood cells. But, as the name implies, the Rh null blood type is completely missing these Rh blood group antigens, which makes it the rarest blood type in the world. Rh null blood was first found in 1961 in an Australian woman. Until then, doctors had assumed that an embryo missing all Rh blood cell antigens would not survive, let alone grow into a normal, thriving adult. But by 2010, nearly 5 decades later, some 43 people with Rh null blood had been reported worldwide. You might think these 43 people are very lucky, but that couldn't be further from the truth.
What year was that?
Doctors had assumed that an embryo missing all Rh blood cell antigens would not survive, let alone grow into a normal, thriving adult. But by 2010, nearly 5 decades later, some 43 people with Rh null blood had been reported worldwide.
Wait a minute now. That's the Umbrella Academy, by the way. It was 43 people. I think it was 42 or 43 people in that show who had special powers. They talking about these people who are Rh null. Interesting enough, they said 2010. So that means that this Rh null blood is returning. You see what I'm saying? It's returning. It's making a comeback. Peep game here.
You might think these 43 people are very lucky, but that couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, because Rh null blood is so rare, it is also extremely dangerous to live with. Blood groups are inherited, and Rh null is known to run in families. But when researchers tried to find the genetic basis of this golden blood type in one of the subjects, they found that Rh null blood was due to 2 completely different random mutations on pure chance, which is one reason why this blood type is so rare. Your immune system naturally contains antibodies, which help to fight off any foreign material that your immune system doesn't recognize, such as viruses and bacteria. These antibodies can also attack antigens that aren't present in your natural blood type. For example, if you have type B blood and you receive a blood transfusion of type A blood, your antibodies will work to destroy the A antigens. This can have life-threatening results. This means if you have the Rh null blood type, receiving a transfusion of a blood type with any Rh antigens will cause your body to reject the blood. Because fewer than 50 individuals in the entire world have the Rh null blood type, finding a blood donor for Rh null individuals can be nearly impossible. This is why people who have the golden blood type are encouraged to donate blood in case they ever need blood. As Rh null blood contains no Rh antigens to be rejected, it can be a universal donor for those with generally rare blood types. Golden blood, therefore, can be both life-threatening and life-saving. And while your chances of having the rarest blood type are incredibly low, it's important that you know what your blood type is. You never know when your life will need to be saved, or when you could save someone else's.
So, this making a comeback. 5 decades later, Rh null returns. The golden blood. They said return of the golden ones, right? Return of the golden age, right? Well, this is where it starts. Now, peep this out. It's the book Intima Pi by James Van Gelder. Page 114. They talk about the concept of pre-celestial chi. Pre-celestial chi, my bad. According to Tao's alchemy, in order to finally escape the continuous cycle of death and rebirth, one has to fuse pre-celestial chi. The fusion of pre-celestial chi in Tao's alchemy is known as becoming a spiritual immortal. Another tradition this feat is commonly referred to as enlightenment, becoming an arhat, or simply referred to as completing a great work. Pre-celestial chi comes from the source. It is beyond the world and its creation. Furthermore, humans only have a finite amount of pre-celestial chi given to them at birth, and when this chi runs out, the body ceases to function. And we all know the source is the pleroma, the primordial realm, right? It said that each one of us is estimated to have enough pre-celestial chi at birth to live 500 years. However, most of the greatest masters, including Bodhidharma users, do not live past 200. The process used to greatly increase the longevity of the physical body is to consistently replenish post-celestial chi so that inherent pre-celestial chi goes away at a slower pace. The fusion of pre-celestial energy does not create the electric chi like the previous fusion, but instead creates an entire new form of energy often referred to as the golden light. See what I'm saying? More importantly, when pre-celestial chi is fused together, one forms what is known as the light body, or the Dharma body, or the soul body. You see what I'm saying? Or the etheric body, as it's also called. The body of light does not rely on energies from Earth to survive, but instead absorbs energy directly from the source of Tao, or Mandres, the pre-existing one, which is beyond this world and its creation. Masters at this level are said to be truly liberated from the continuous cycle of death and rebirth. After death, these masters follow a trail of light out of continual rebirth. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. And said Lao, one of the largest clues that separates Lao Che Tong from John Chang is Lao's ability to use the golden wave energy. The product from the fusion of post-celestial chi, Hui Tian, is like electric power, whereas the product from the fusion of pre-celestial chi, Xian Tian Chi, is like nuclear power. Instead of the electric chi created in the fusion of post-celestial chi, the fusion of pre-celestial chi gives a master control over a new type of energy. This energy is often referred to as the golden light or the golden glow. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. And he said the golden heat is a characteristic of a true spiritual immortal pre-celestial fusion. So there you go. There you go. So there you go. So you have golden chi just like you have golden blood. Now it's all starting to make sense, right? There's a balance here between the physical and the spiritual. You see what I'm saying? So the golden chi, the golden which is source energy flowing through your body. That's what the golden chi is. The life force of the source, or simply source energy flowing through you. And you got the golden blood, which is RH node, rhesus node. So which is the original God blood or Titan blood. Now once the gods fail, then you got old blood type, which was the purest blood after RH node, which is royal blood. You see what I'm saying? So now you see where it's coming from. But RH node was the original blood type, the golden blood. Because you remember my ancestors. Let me see, can I find the opening scene from Gods of Egypt real quick? They may or may not have put it on here. But they tell you some secrets at the beginning of the movie. Now, the movie itself is trash, but that particular part of the movie is fire. So it's worth taking a look at. Gods of Egypt. Opening scene. Let's see here. Brighten it up a little bit.
Before history began, Egypt was the birthplace of all life.
One more time. And we start over.
Few know the whole story. From what I recall, it goes something like this. Before history began, Egypt was the birthplace of all life, a paradise worthy of the gods who created it. So the gods decided to live there, alongside their lesser creation, man. But there was no mistaking the gods amongst the mortals who worshipped them. The gods were taller, with gold running through their veins instead of blood.
What did he say? Let's hear that again. What did he say?
Man. But there was no mistaking the gods amongst the mortals who worshipped them. The gods were taller, with gold running through their veins instead of blood.
The gods were taller, meaning they were giants, with gold instead of blood running through their veins. So our age know is the original blood of our ancestors, and it's going back to that. You see what I'm saying? One more time here for the people who just got here.
A paradise worthy of the gods who created it. So the gods decided to live there, alongside their lesser creation, man. But there was no mistaking the gods amongst the mortals who worshipped them. The gods were taller, with gold running through their veins instead of blood. And they could transform at will into all manner of frightening beasts.
Shapeshift.
Egypt itself was divided between two mighty brothers. Osiris, the god of life, into all manner of frightening beasts. Mistaking the gods amongst the mortals who worshipped them. The gods were taller, with gold running through their veins instead of blood. And they could transform at will into all manner of frightening beasts. Egypt itself was divided between two mighty brothers. Osiris, the god of life, was the beloved king of all the lands made bountiful by the Nile. His brother, Set, ruled the far barren desert, finding both strength and bitterness in his isolation. But then the time came for Osiris to crown a new king, his only son, Horus. It was a decision that would test the brothers' bond and the fate of all Egypt.
There y'all go. It's no need to go any further. But y'all heard what they said. They had gold running through their veins instead of blood. RH know the golden blood. You see what I'm saying? So it's coming back. It's making a comeback here. So the Titan blood, the God blood, is making a return. Which leads me to my next part of the lecture, which is basically from a game called Cold Vein. If y'all ever heard of it, it's Cold Vein. Now again, in the game, they got the concept known as revenants. Revenants are immortal vampires. You know, they pretty much took the blade concept and took it to another level. They're immortal vampires who die and come back to life, and they daywalkers as well. But they still possess the thirst, the need to drink blood. You see what I'm saying? The need to intake, to drink blood and do all these things. Now, that means that they also hemophiliacs. That's why they had a thirst. The hemophilia is why they need blood. You see what I'm saying? That's what that means when they said the thirst. That means their hemophilia inside them, the hemoglobin is not reproducing new proteins, which is regenerating the red blood cells and producing new red blood cells. Producing new red blood cells, so they need new blood or they'll die. You see what I'm saying? That's why they have a thirst for it. You see what I'm saying? So let's see here. So these revenants or whatever, you know, they focus on what you like to call the blood beads, and they like these little cups where they drink from instead of feeding off humans, right? The earth was providing them, because the world changed. The earth was providing them with blood. You see what I'm saying? At the time, you know, what they had, they had blood trees in anime. So now, the circulation of blood as a whole throughout your body and the earth is known as the blood current. You see what I'm saying? It's known as the blood current. So there's a blood current flowing through you. You know, it's just a flow of blood. Now, to the bulk of this lecture, what are blood codes? A blood code is the person's personality. It makes up the person's personality, skill sets, attributes, and psychic ability. Everybody has a blood code, but in the game, it just simply calls them stats. You see what I'm saying? Everybody had a unique skill set and a unique set of personality that drove them. Like, say, for example, let's see here. I'm going to read one of them to you, a couple of them to you. They will say stuff like this to give you an idea. Here is Ishtar. Code on a cruise silver. A blood code inherited from cruises repaired vestige core. The vestige core is literally crystallized genetic memory. Literally. It holds her determined will to eliminate a menace and save the weak from the days when Project Queen first started. The code features gifts that aid in both attacking and defending, and has some gifts that involve self-sacrifice. Now, he gave you the concept of gifts in this particular show, in this particular game. And let's see here. Blood codes bestow gifts to the revenants, immortals, which are different skills and abilities that are acquired through their life journey. So that's what the gifts are. So they have, and the gifts focus on what they're good at, whether they warriors, or they may be scouts or gunslingers, or they may be magicians or wizards or psychics or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So this you got going on here. This you got going on. It looks something like this. That's a little bright. Looks something like this in the game. And they all had their own specific symbols. And notice they named out the deities like this. See what I'm saying? Artemis, co-owner Mia Karnstein, features high stamina and attack type gifts, but suffers from low endurance. So they had strengths and weaknesses. See what I'm saying? And here go the different blood types as well. You know, they just showed you just an image of it, a still image, just to show y'all. A, B, and O. So yeah, they show you the antibodies in plasma. Then they show you antigens in red blood cells. A antigen, B antigen, A and B antigen. Zero, circle doesn't have none. O doesn't have none. My bad. So yeah. So let's see here. Here go another advanced version of it. They go all 8 of them, both positive and negative, and different blood types and how they work. Now AB can work for everybody, interestingly enough. So yeah. And they said type O's are the periods, especially O negatives, the universal donors. They have the periods blood, or what Europeans used to call royal blood. Because their periods today are the most environmentally intolerant and sensitive. See what I'm saying? But old blood is a genetic evolution or mutation of RH null blood, which is the golden blood. You see what I'm saying? We now understand it. So this is what I'm saying. Usually you will have the same blood type all your life. However, in some cases the blood types have changed. This has been due to unusual circumstances, such as having a bone marrow transplant or getting certain types of cancers or infections. Not all of the changes in blood type are permanent. So they can actually change back as well. So yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh yeah, and this debunks the rhesus monkey shit here. It was subsequently learned the human factor is not identical to the rhesus monkey factor, but by then rhesus group and like terms were already in widespread worldwide use. Just to clear that up, you know, they like the evolutionists, which is another branch of cabal scientists, love fucking demoralizing you by telling you part of animals. You come from animals. That's not how this works. I'm gonna tell y'all how that works later on in the lecture. You see what I'm saying? When dealing with animals. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, your blood codes is the personality, skill set, attributes, and psychic abilities. Everybody has a blood code. Every blood code has a name. The most important thing about blood code is the specific genetic sequences which make up every aspect of yourself and continues to be developed over your lifetime. You see what I'm saying? One more time. The most important thing about the blood code is the specific genetic sequences which make up every aspect of yourself and continue to be developed over your lifetime. So there you go. Like I said, vestiges of crystallized genetic memory or ancestral memory. Let's see. Told you about the gifts. And so, why are blood codes so important? Blood codes help you understand yourself on the genetic level because they tell you the power is in your blood, right? But these scientists know this. The power is in your blood, but it's called blood codes. And these blood codes help you. They can take your blood and read everything you've learned in this lifetime. Did I tell y'all that? You know, they can look at the genetic sequences and see what you good at through select processes. Like, say, for example, they can look at your blood and say, oh, he's developed his artistic side, or oh, she's developed her scientific side, or oh, this person here has developed their athletic side. You see what I'm saying? Because the blood has all the experiences, collective experiences you've had in this life. You see what I'm saying? The DNA, what we know as deoxyribonucleic acid, is literally your genetic library of experiences, of collective experiences for this life here. You see what I'm saying? For this life here. So we're gonna get into that later. But yes, so that's why blood codes are so important. And your whole circulatory system is your blood code. You see what I'm saying? The whole circulatory system, guided by your consciousness, is your blood code. Because when you unlock something inside of you, ever notice that you get something right, you have this like exhilarating, this exhilaration that awakens inside of you. Say, for example, you get a math problem right for the first time, or you finally paint that picture just right for the first time, or you finally cook that fancy meal you've been trying to cook for years for the first time. You get it right, you feel this explosion of exhilaration inside of you. That's you unlocking the genetic codes for that particular skill. You see what I'm saying? Your blood and your melanin is augmenting this new revelation, this new realization, this new awakening inside of you. And from that point on, that skill set, that skill tree is unlocked inside of you. So that's how it works. It's also, there you go, M. Kura. It's also called DNA activation. Now, how do you activate your blood codes? Here's a meditative exercise for that, called blood code activation. Imagine your red blood cells in your mind. You see what I'm saying? Imagine your red blood cells in your mind. Now reach out with your energetic finger and touch it, right? This will trigger an event where the red blood cells reveals everything about you for this life. Personality, attributes, skills, intelligence, likes, dislikes, strengths, weaknesses, everything that makes up a person. You see what I'm saying? Pretty much your whole persona for this particular life. You are then going to come across a red strand that has a wavelength. This is your blood code. When reaching out and touching it with your energetic finger, the blood code will reveal all your life experiences, skills, memories, personality traits, attributes, strengths and weaknesses, and psychic abilities that you are naturally gifted with, also known as the spiritual starter kit for you. You see what I'm saying? And then after you get through with this, you can come back out, return back to the dark space of your mind, and then you can exit your meditation. But that's how blood codes work. That's what a blood code is, since that's the bulk of this lecture. A blood code is literally the blood wavelength, or the blood intelligence that is you. You see what I'm saying? The overall intelligence inside of your blood that makes up who you are in this life. You see what I'm saying? And it has a name. That wavelength, that intelligence has a name. So go within yourself, activate it, or it's already activated, become aware of it, and it'll become even more activated and awakened, and you can tap into those skills and abilities for yourself. So definitely. So now, next, let's get into the abilities that is inherent to your blood. The first ability is known as blood bending. See what I'm saying? Blood bending, which is your ability to manipulate the blood inside you and others at will. And they show you this in Avatar. We can all learn to manipulate our blood at will and become blood benders. So, got a little video for y'all with that. So, let's go over here real quick. Let's go over here. Check this out.
Every instance possible, she created a makeshift and the history of bloodbending. Bloodbending is a sub-skill of waterbending that allows an extremely advanced waterbender to take hold of and manipulate fluids within an organism's body, allowing the bender to move the person's muscles. This technique is referred to as the darkest, most powerful, and most feared of all bending techniques, and it is the only art known to endanger the user's mental state. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the history of bloodbending. Before we begin, we publish new content every week, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Discovery. After being captured during one of the Fire Nation raids aimed at weakening the Southern Water Tribe, Hama, along with her fellow waterbenders, was sent to a maximum security prison in the Fire Nation, designed specifically to hold benders of her kind. There, the guards were cautious of providing prisoners with any form of bendable substance that they could utilize in making a reprisal, going so far as to chain the limbs of the prisoners before they were allowed to drink, and using cruel retribution at any sign of resistance. Despite the helplessness she faced while imprisoned, Hama was able to feel the enrichment provided to her by the full moon. She began to devise a plan that would lead to her escape and eventually realized that the elephant rats constantly scurrying around the bottom of her cage were filled with bendable water. Upon the arrival of the next full moon, Hama attempted to take hold of the fluids within one of the creatures and she succeeded, successfully performing bloodbending for the first time. In the following months, enhanced by the full moon, she continued to develop the technique, mastering it to a point at which she could effectively control the movement of an entire horde of rats. During the next full moon, Hama used bloodbending to control a passing guard, forcing him to open her cage and allow her to escape. Hama walked free for the first time in many years and eventually settled in a village near the outskirts of the Fire Nation archipelago. Hama. While imprisoned, Hama developed a deep hatred for the Fire Nation, and she vowed to take revenge at every instance possible. She created a makeshift prison underneath a mountain and formulated a plan where she would control unsuspecting Fire Nation villagers and lead them to the prison during a full moon. She used this technique and eventually imprisoned the owner of a quaint little inn. Hama became the inn's proprietor and was able to repress accusations of being the one responsible for the disappearances by disguising herself as a sweet old innkeeper. During one of those nights, she planned to imprison an old man, Ding. The plan was initially successful, and Ding felt helpless as he was possessed by an unknown force. He was slowly led to the top of the mountain, but before he could be imprisoned inside a cave, the sun began to rise and the power that Hama held over him quickly faded. Regaining control of his body, Ding sprinted away from the scene. He remained the only villager to ever avoid being captured by the bloodbender. Katara. During the summer of 100 AG, Team Avatar decided to camp near a Fire Nation village. However, Hama overheard them telling horror stories and deducted from Katara's story about Nini that they were from the Southern Water Tribe and offered the group a place in her inn. Upon discovering an old whale-tooth comb in Hama's attic, she revealed herself to be a waterbender from the Southern Water Tribe and proposed to teach Katara some original Southern Tribe waterbending techniques so that she could pass on the knowledge of the Southern customs before her death, to which Katara happily agreed. Katara spent the next day learning various techniques from Hama, such as bending moisture from the air and water from within plants, including fire lilies when no bodies of water were present. Hama told Katara that she would teach her the ultimate waterbending technique at night during the full moon, when their powers were at their peak. Katara was hesitant, claiming that villagers had been disappearing during the full moon, though Hama seemed unaffected, stating that two master waterbenders under a full moon had nothing to worry about. That night, Hama took Katara to the forest where she explained her imprisonment and discovery of bloodbending. Katara was horrified and refused to learn the art when Hama urged her. This angered Hama, who used bloodbending to control Katara. The young waterbender pleaded for mercy, but Hama refused to release her. Feeling the power of the moon enforce her waterbending as well, Katara honed her energy and broke free, stating that her own bending was more powerful than Hama's. The two began to duel, and Katara almost immediately took the upper hand. Having discovered the truth about Hama from the villagers she imprisoned deep within the mountain, Sokka and Aang arrived soon afterward to aid Katara and told Hama to surrender since she was clearly outnumbered. Hama refused and used bloodbending to control them. Like a puppet master, she used them to attack Katara, though the young waterbender managed to avoid being hit. Adopting a different approach, Hama maneuvered Aang toward Sokka, who had raised his sword. Katara, in an attempt to save Aang, used bloodbending to stop her, effectively breaking Hama's hold on the boys. She released the Elder following the arrival of Toph and the freed villagers, who escorted Hama away from the scene. Now apprehended, Hama congratulated Katara on becoming a bloodbender, causing the young waterbender to break down into tears. Sometime later, when Zuko and Katara went to search for the man who killed Katara's mother, Katara, overwhelmed by rage and grief, used bloodbending to subdue the Southern Raiders commander despite her moral objections against using the dark art. Yakone. Following the end of the 100-Year War, knowledge regarding bloodbending became widespread, and with Katara's involvement, the United Republic of Nations outlawed the bending art sometime before 128 AG. Regardless, a man named Yakone had the unique ability to use bloodbending without the need of a full moon, and used this skill to rule Republic City from its rotten underbelly, becoming the city's most notorious criminal malefactor in a matter of years. Following many acquittals in his favor, since it was considered impossible for one to bloodbend without the full moon, Yakone was eventually tried and arrested for multiple counts of bloodbending, for which the United Republic Council found him guilty. As he was condemned to life in prison, Yakone subdued the entire courtroom by using psychic bloodbending, rendering every individual unconscious before he escaped. Avatar Aang, who was also rendered unconscious by Yakone's bloodbending, roused himself by entering the Avatar state and gave chase to the convict. Forced to defend himself, Yakone took hold of Aang with bloodbending once more with lethal intent, but the Avatar broke free after entering the Avatar state a second time and trapped Yakone in an earth cone. With the criminal unable to move, Aang removed his bending, ending his reign as the head of Republic City's criminal empire. Noatak and Tarlok. At some point, Yakone managed to escape successfully and fled from Republic City.
Y'all pretty much get it at this point. The power of bloodbending. The power of manipulating your own blood and manipulating the blood of others. You see what I'm saying? And manipulating the blood of others. That's actually a skill. You see what I'm saying? That you were taught in the old days. That's why our people were so healthy. Our ancient family was so healthy back then. They knew how to manipulate the power of their blood. So they knew how to manipulate the power of their blood. They could use it to supercharge their genetic code optimization inside of them. This in turn allowed them to regenerate their dying cells, allowing them to live and look young for hundreds of years, thousands of years. These are all advanced techniques that came out of our particular house at that time. So bloodbending was a very important. You know, they may look evil in the anime, but it was actually a vital science back in our time. You know, that was they consider evil today, and you know they had to put some twist on it. Oh, it make you go crazy if you use it. You know how they are. But it was actually a very vital science for life during our time, for a life extension and unlocking the fountain of youth inside of you. You see what I'm saying? So definitely. There you go. So next, we're going to get into, now that we understand how blood works on a personal level, let's get into how it works as far as your bloodline, your ancestral bloodline. You see what I'm saying? Now, your ancestral bloodline abilities are known as Kekkei Genkai, bloodline limits or bloodline abilities. Kekkei Genkai abilities that are passed down via your bloodline, and skills as well. Abilities and skills that are passed down through your bloodline. Your father could be an artist, so you can naturally tap into artistic talents as well, because your father or your mother has those skills. Your mother could be a scientist, so you born with enhanced scientific knowledge as well. And of course, these abilities there are 3 levels of them: mental, physical, and spiritual. Mental-based abilities, body-based abilities, and spiritual/magical-based abilities. So, I got a little video for y'all there. Then I go over my version of it. How about that? I go over my version. This comes from the anime Naruto. So they put all the knowledge in the anime. See what I'm saying? That's why his
So
anime
I was supposed to be talking about what released this week, but
that's why his anime so damn good, because they got all your metaphysical sciences and occult sciences embedded in them.
I remembered I should probably explain what Kekkei Genkai in general are. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be about. So alright, what's going on everybody? Swagkage here, and today we're going to be talking about Kekkei Genkai. I think the best way to give a broad explanation of what a Kekkei Genkai is to just tell you what its name means in English. It directly translates to bloodline limit. And, well, this name isn't too far off from how you might hear some people describe what a Kekkei Genkai is. Kekkei Genkai are genetic gifts, almost like superpowers, and as a result, the abilities they entail are impossible to learn. Kekkei Genkai abilities can't even be copied with the Sharingan, as said by Kakashi himself. However, it is possible to obtain a Kekkei Genkai a person wasn't born with through various means that I'll explain later. Of course, first I should explain how Kekkei Genkai abilities are naturally acquired, and well, this tends to vary depending on which ability you're talking about. Some abilities are genetically exclusive to all members of a particular clan, like the Yuki clan's Ice Release ability. Some abilities are genetically exclusive to individual people, though, like Hashirama's Wood Release ability that no other members of the Senju clan ever developed. Finally, the rarest of Kekkei Genkai are the kind that are genetically exclusive to one clan, but also only manifest in certain members of that clan. The Kaguya clan Shikotsu Myaku ability is a really good example of this. It was an extraordinarily rare ability that only seemed to manifest in one of the clan's members per generation, and was never used by anybody outside of the clan. Now, it is worth noting that Kekkei Genkai can be classified in more ways than just with their acquisition prerequisites. There are actually 3 different kinds of Kekkei Genkai in the Naruto universe, and they all vary quite drastically from one another. The first kind is the Dojutsu, or ocular techniques, like the Sharingan, Byakugan, and Rinnegan. Dojutsu all unsurprisingly manifest in a person's eyes, and typically change the appearance of their eyes quite drastically. These changes can only be seen when the abilities are activated, however, and on that note, most Dojutsu abilities can be triggered on and off at the user's will. The second kind of Kekkei Genkai are what you could consider body abilities, and as you can probably infer, they're all tied heavily to the entirety of a person's body. Examples include Sakon and Yukon's unnamed Kekkei Genkai that allows them to merge their bodies with those of others, and the Kaguya clan Shikotsu Myaku ability. These abilities are probably the hardest for a person to acquire if they don't already have access to them, as they seem kind of hardwired into the body's genetic code. The last kind is the Nature Release Kekkei Genkai, which is probably the most commonly seen. These are special kinds of nature transformations that exist outside of the basic 5, and are generally the result of combining 2 nature transformations at once. It's very important to make the distinction between casting 2 different kinds of natures like fire and wind together at the same time, and merging them together into a completely separate nature transformation, as the results are completely different. According to the anime, people with these kinds of Kekkei Genkai have an affinity for both natures they are combining, or in the cases of Kekkei Toda, all 3 natures that they are combining. Now, I've already listed all of the different combinations between nature transformations and the new nature transformations that they produce over in my Chakra Natures video, so if you haven't seen it already, I would highly urge you to, but there are some exceptions to the rules that I've explained here. Not all nature release Kekkei Genkai are the result of combining 2 of the basic nature transformations. Blaze Release, for example, is completely different from this. Blaze Release is both a Dojutsu and a nature transformation Kekkei Genkai, as it's the result of one of Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan abilities, Kakatsuchi or Flame Control, which allows him to bend and shape Amaterasu into different things, and is so versatile that it had to be classified as its own nature transformation. Some other examples of these exceptions can be found in filler like Crystal Release, Dark Release, etc. But for the most part, nature release Kekkei Genkai are always combinations of 2 or 3 nature transformations. Now, before I proceed onward and explain how it's possible to obtain Kekkei Genkai that a person hasn't been born with, I need to make it very clear that Hiden techniques are not Kekkei Genkai. Hiden techniques are special techniques passed down between members of specific clans, but they're not genetic abilities the same way Kekkei Genkai are. These are techniques like Shadow Possession Jutsu, Mind Transfer Jutsu, and so on and so forth that no members outside of the clan who created them have access to, not because of genetics, but because of how heavily guarded the specifics of these techniques were. Anyhow, now that that's cleared up, let me explain how to acquire a Kekkei Genkai without being born with one. Generally, this is done through transplanting or surgery in some form. Transplanting Dojutsu like Sharingan and Byaku using a Dojutsu that who originally had the Kekkei and the Kaguya clan Shikotsu Myaku. Next week, I'm actually going to be jumping into Wood Release.
Alright, that's pretty much the gist of it, which y'all need to understand. Now, the rest of it is just him talking about stuff about the anime. Now, with that being said, of course, like he said, Bloodline abilities are genetic abilities passed down via your bloodline, you see, your ancestors. They come in three major forms: mental or mind-based abilities, like he told you, dojutsu techniques or eye techniques, mind control techniques or hypnosis, memory walking, clairvoyance, internal vision, etc. You see what I'm saying? Just some mental-based abilities or psychic abilities that you would tap into. Next are body-based abilities like super speed, super strength, invulnerability, super jumping, unlimited stamina. You're born with martial prowess, a high level of martial prowess, because your forefathers and mothers were master martial artists, so on and so forth, etc. Right? Next, you got the spiritual / magical side of it, which is your ability to summon spirits / deities, divine utterance, which is spell casting, dream walking. Let's see here, astral / soul projection, and elemental manipulation and chi manipulation, etc., etc. Right? More spirit-based abilities that you can naturally tap into, because your family may have been oracles or Jedi or scions or sorcerers or whatever. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this. So yeah, you can tap into all of this with those three basic levels. And even though it seems like you don't have them right now, the reason why you wasn't able to tap into your genetic abilities a lot when you were actually, y'all were able to tap into your abilities a lot when you were kids, before the world programmed you into thinking that they was bullshit and they went dormant. Right? Before they went dormant. That's what really happened. But when you was a kid, you had psychic abilities. Here, you can project yourself into different realms. You hung out with spirits and deities. You did all this shit. There was no separation between the physical, or physical, what we call reality, and the mythical, what we call the primordial. You see what I'm saying? There was no separation when you were a kid. Once these motherfuckers came along and told you, oh, no, that's all bullshit, because they was programmed. These Asians programmed you into thinking that what you were seeing and doing in these other realms was a lie, and it wasn't real. And your imagination was made up. That you started shutting down those abilities so that you can tap further into society. So there you go. So now, there's high levels of these abilities called Keke Tota, or bloodline selection. Now, it is the fusion of different bloodline abilities that create new abilities. You see what I'm saying? Like, they gave you an example there in the show. Like, you can fuse fire and air together to produce lava or plasma or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Or fire element fused with light produces golden holy fire. Stuff like that. Just a fusion of different bloodline abilities that you already have, and fusing those bloodline abilities together, unlocking higher, more advanced levels of genetic bloodline abilities inside of you. And you call those Keke Tota, bloodline selection. You see what I'm saying? Furthering and advancing your bloodline's already standard genetic abilities, or Keke Genkai. So there you go. Or another example is clairvoyance fused with astral projection. Is your ability to remote view other realms and timelines and actually walk through the timelines and realms. You see what I'm saying? So you can actually be there, and whatever happens to you in those realms actually affects you physically. You see what I'm saying? So another example of fusing your abilities. Another one: super strength plus super speed equals concussive force. To hit somebody with your strength and speed simultaneously produces a concussive waves, will knock them all the way down the fucking street, like you see Hulk do, or Thor and all them other motherfuckers who had super strength and super speed, or Flash and all that. So yeah, now the third level of this bloodline, these bloodline abilities, is known as Keke Mora, or also known as bloodline encompassing or bloodline all encompassing, because encompass mean everything, to include everything, right? Now, Keke Mora, or bloodline encompassing, is the Titan-based abilities which is used to create, organize, and destroy on a macrocosmic level. Example: planetary creation, solar creation or sun creation, and dimensional creation. Your ability to do things on a macrocosmic level, create worlds, create universes, create dimensions, create realms, create holy trees of life, create new versions of beings, destroy these beings, destroy universes, destroy planets, whatever, destroy dimensions, organize these realms into advanced civilizations, yada 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 yada. You see what I'm saying? That's what KK Moore are. They're your Titan God level abilities that's passed down to you via your bloodline. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. And yes, you can tap into these abilities now. You don't have to wait to some advanced cosmic event, but you gotta work at them extremely hard to tap into them. Well, you can do this. You see what I'm saying? You can do this. So yeah, there you go. So KK Moore. Now, there's another ability that I want to go over that sounds very familiar. In the anime Naruto, they had an ability called a KK Moore called Infinite Tsukuyomi, which is a genjutsu illusionary technique that pretty much puts the whole world, puts the entire world in a illusion. It pretty much casts a pretty much energetic illusion around the whole world, which enslaves the person in a dreamlike state, so that their chi life force, what they call chakra in the show, may be vamped. You see what I'm saying? And Infinite Tsukuyomi in that show was known as Yaldabaoth's spell 616. He literally described what Yaldabaoth did to the people in this realm. He literally cast this genjutsu. You see what I'm saying? This Infinite Tsukuyomi over all of us, and put us in a dreamlike state, which we forgot who he was. And then what's worse, they were vamping off us, feeding off us, turning this realm into a planetary restaurant. You see what I'm saying? That's what these archons did. So definitely, that's what's happening here, and that's called the Infinite Tsukuyomi is known as Yaldabaoth's spell 616, which equals 13. Another lockdown number. So there y'all go. That's what they did with these bloodline abilities. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to go over this DNA thing, these genetics, real quick. Now, I told y'all earlier in the lecture, you got DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, which is your natural genetic code for this life we are living now. That's what DNA really is. Next, you got what you like to call BNA, or bestial nucleic acid. And that is your animal genetics, which connects us with our spirit animals, i.e. animal communication, dragon blood, tiger blood, wolf blood, etc. See what I'm saying? See, these scientists don't really know what the fuck they talking about when they talking about animal DNA. They understand that you are nature. You see what I'm saying? See, they want to do shit without including nature or the natural sciences into it. They just want to fuck around and do the fuck they want to do instead of going by the natural law in their sense. You see what I'm saying? So yes, if you are nature, then that means you have a connection with all the animals and all the plants. So that means you have animal blood or animal DNA and plant blood or plant DNA inside you as well. Because we are a plant and we are animals simultaneously. Because we are a reflection of nature in the form of sentient beings on this planet. So example, my spirit animal is a tiger, right? So that means for my spirit energy to connect with a tiger, I had to have a extreme connection with tiger blood. You see what I'm saying? The tiger, so I have high tiger blood inside of me, right? Another animal I'm connected to is dragons. So that means I have dragon blood as well. You see what I'm saying? Those two animals I was always connected to. And because I know about my tiger blood, I can Google what the spirit animal, my spirit animal tiger can do, and regeneration, connection to lunar magic, various other abilities it had, right? So there's ability to conserve energy and store it away for days when I actually need it. I can do all that because of my extreme advanced connection to the tiger animal, right? So that's what you got going on here. That's what this spirit. See, it's a balance of both spirit science and natural science. You see what I'm saying? So if your spirit animal is a hawk, That means you have hawk blood inside of you that's very so strong that it attracts the spiritual energy of that animal. You see what I'm saying? So in this case, my tiger blood is so strong, or my connection to the tiger energy is so strong that it attracts the tiger spirit animal. And you can have more than one that you're connected with. You see what I'm saying? You may have like 2 or 3 animals that you're connected with. So my third animal would be, I enjoy the wolf energy. Not necessarily the wolf pack, but the lone wolf energy. You see what I'm saying? So that's wolf blood. So you usually have 2 or 3 animals that you're super connected with. See what I'm saying? You my main one was tiger. My second one was the dragon, and the third one was the wolf. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you got going on here. That's what these scientists don't know what the fuck they be talking about when they be doing these activities. You see what I'm saying? They be down there doing they fucking scientific fuckery, they dark alchemy. You see what I'm saying? So they can't even explain to you properly what the fuck they even tapping into, because the shit that they doing is so fragmented. You see what I'm saying? So archonic, so distorted. So there's BNA, bestial nucleic acid, which is your animal genetics, which connects you to your spirit animal. See, they still don't accept the alchemical side, where there's both a spirit science and a natural science. They only want to fuck with some of the natural science. They don't even want to fuck with all the natural sciences. They only want to fuck what they want to fuck with. You see what I'm saying? And that's creating distortions in their teachings and scientific processes. You got this one group of scientists who don't want to accept shit spiritual. You got this other group of scientists who love to accept things spiritual, but they shunned by the first group. And you got this third group of scientists who rules all the motherfuckers and don't want to just tell them and just feed the narrative that they don't know what the fuck they be talking about, even though they are advanced scientists who fucking with advanced technologies. You see what I'm saying? Let's feed them a narrative that we dumb. You see what I'm saying? We dumb and we don't fuck with advanced technology. You got that third group as well. So yeah, the next group is PNA, or plant nucleic acid. It is our plant-based genetics. You know, we are part plant. As we can communicate with plants, you can communicate with animals as well. With the plant kingdom / queendom, and plant spirits, i.e. tree spirits, rocks or golem spirits, elementals, etc. You see what I'm saying? And it's your overall connection to nature, because you know that's what this is about. That's the plant blood. That's why you're able to ingest liquid chlorophyll and don't get sick, because you part plant. You see what I'm saying? The liquid chlorophyll resonates with your plant genetics. You see what I'm saying? Your PNA. And so when you drink that, that's why it's your body's able to accept their programming and take that chemical and use it to heal you. You see what I'm saying? So now you see how it's starting to work. So you have what we just went over. You have BNA, bestial nucleic acid. You have PNA, plant nucleic acid. You see what I'm saying? Next you have after that's your natural shit. So DNA, BNA, and PNA. DNA is yourself, represents you. BNA is your animal self, and PNA is your plant self, right? So that's all your natural genetics there. Now let's get into more of the spiritual genetics. You have what you like to call DEA. You see what I'm saying? So your spiritual genetics is not an acid; they're alkali. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between the natural DNA and the spiritual DNA. You see what I'm saying? The spiritual side. One is an acid, the other one is an alkaline, because you have to have balance. You need both alkaline and acid to be a stable being. So next, you have DEA, which is deoxyelectroalkali. You see what I'm saying? Or deoxyelectronucleic acid. Alkali. You see what I'm saying? So these deoxyelectroalkali is your metagenetics and are the seat of your spiritual abilities / superpowers. But scientists commonly call it junk DNA. Fuck, you gonna relegate DNA to junk? Trash. What type of shit is that? Ooh, you know you got some fucked up motherfuckers running this shit. To the point where they telling you that a certain aspect of yourself don't work, so we don't want you to know it works, so we're gonna label it as junk DNA. But it's actually DEA, which is the seat of your, or deoxyelectroalkali, which is the seat of your metagenetics. You see what I'm saying? Your metagenetics. But and your metagenetics is the seat of your superpowers, like they told you in Black Light. You see what I'm saying? That green light. So that green light, that heart chakra, that empathy, which is your gateway ability to your starseed powers. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, they call it junk DNA, y'all. How about that? Now, there's another DNA, another genetic sequence that only starseeds have, and it's called SEA. And this is why they kidnap starseeds. It's not human trafficking, it's starseed trafficking. They don't want regular humans. They know what regular humans got. They mainly want starseeds. You see what I'm saying? So it's starseed trafficking. You know, let's get it straight. They trafficking starseeds, dragon seeds, fairy seeds, naga seeds, elemental seeds, yada 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 yada. That's what they really doing. Because they want their SEA, starseed electroalkali, which are star code genetics that every starseed has, which connects them with their universes, different dimensions, and the multi-dimensional realm, period. And these star codes and star genetics can be programmed to stargates to reach other realms that was previously locked or blocked to them. So that's why they want the kids. You see what I'm saying? Because the kids are still pure. They still in tune. They still 100% in tune with the celestial realms. You see what I'm saying? And so none of their DNA is locked yet, or blocked off, or shut down due to society, or they crazy ass parents putting them on pills because they don't understand their spiritual. The Lord, you know, if you ain't fucking with the Lord and your Savior Jesus Christ, then you ain't fucking with nothing around here. Or your Lord and Savior Allah, or Jehovah, or all these other crazy motherfuckers, you know, Moses and all these niggas who they just made up to force you to worship to keep you locked down. You see what I'm saying? So it's called SEA. SEA. Starseed Electroalkali, which are star code genetics that every starseed possesses that allows them to access their own celestial lineages and soul lines across the cosmos. You see what I'm saying? Across the cosmos. So that's what makes starseed so special. They come here. They advanced elder souls that come here and incarnate on different planets to heal and regenerate and transmute the planets. But you always got opposition. Of course, this archonic matrix, this cabal system that wants to stop you from tapping into these star codes and using it to help heal and regenerate the planet. Versus what they want to do. They want to kidnap you, and if you too powerful, like they showed you in the Darkest Mind, they just kill you. See what I'm saying? Some of that dragon blood can't be fucked with even as a kid. They'll block your ass even with their powers as a kid. You see what I'm saying? That someone that's so powerful. So they'll just assassinate you on sight if they can. See what I'm saying? So that's what you got going on. Or you born, or natural born occultist. You see what I'm saying? Or something like that. They'll just fuck you up before you even get a chance to have an effect. They don't even want to take no chances. That's why kids come up missing and kids wake up dead. Especially when in the 90s, you see what I'm saying? They weren't reporting in the 90s, or it was happening a lot in the 90s because a lot of kids was being born in the late 80s, early 90s, and mid 90s at that time. See what I'm saying? A lot of starseeds, an influx of starseeds hit the planet, and so they would track you down. And if you too powerful, they had a DEFCON code from that range from green to red. If your ass is anything higher than yellow, they put a bullet in your head. You see what I'm saying? Be it physical, or they will come through the astral plane. The CIA has a magical bullet that they can shoot your astral body with in the magical plane. And if they kill your astral body, it will literally snatch your spirit and soul from your body. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's designed to do. So definitely, these motherfuckers knew what they was doing. So they still try to do it to this day. You know, cause. But a lot of us made it through the cracks. A lot of us survived their assassination attempts. Like they tried to kill me with that magical bullet. I had to fight tooth and nails when I was like 8 years old. They shot me with one of those magical bullets through the astral plane. And I had to fight tooth and nail to keep my astral body from leaving my physical body, or I would be dead today. You see what I'm saying? I had to use my will to pull it back in me. And even then, it took years to heal that because they shot me in my third eye area. It took years to heal that my visual capabilities, my internal capabilities with my third eye, due to them shooting me with this magical bullet. So it took years to heal that. You see what I'm saying? Even after I awoken. So yeah, this shit deep. Don't let them fool you. You at war. You been at war. The moment you came down here, you was at war. Here, before you came down here, you was at war. Because they knew you was coming. When you entered the fucking, the celestial realm, known as the material realm, or the chaos, or Tartarus, because you had to go through the astral plane to even get here, Helheim or whatever. You was at war. You had to fight to even incarnate down here. You see what I'm saying? Because you had to go through Helheim / Hades, which is the astral plane, and they was ready for you. They had soldiers then set up for you before you came down here. You see what I'm saying? You had to fight your way down here to Tartarus to incarnate, so you could help save your bloodline. So don't get it twisted, y'all. Don't get it twisted. This shit ain't no game. This shit ain't no game. So yeah. Now, finally, let's get to the last part of the lecture. Let us talk about blood magic. Yep, we gotta talk about blood magic. Yes, we don't talk about how it works for us personally. We don't talk about how they're using it in the rituals as well. Now, what is blood magic? Blood magic is the ability to tap into oh, damn, that's right. My bad. Blood magic is the ability to tap into your own blood intelligence with the aim of manipulating and shaping reality into what you will. You see what I'm saying? One more time. Blood magic is the ability to tap into your own blood intelligence with the aim of manipulating and shaping reality into what you will. You see what I'm saying? You have two aspects of blood magic. You have high blood magic, which is ritualistic and ceremonial. Then you have low blood magic, which is more mental blood magic, which is used through chanting and hand gestures. You see what I'm saying? And there's a book also called Blood Magic. You know, let me get over here to it real quick. Kindle, there we go. There we go. And we're gonna wrap this up. Let me go over here. Blood magic. Oh yeah, that's that shit. You gotta know about blood magic, because that's what they're using against you. And it's by Seth Cardora. Cardorra. Seth Cardora. Now, blood is a symbol, the medium, and the price of power. So let me run over here real quick to how it all began. Let's start with the initiation. Threshold. Blood magic is dangerous. Of course, this is a disclaimer. The sorcerer uses the power that lies within the physical substance that is blood, with the aim of shaping reality into what he or she wills. This requires enough force to impose one will upon the world, enough discipline to master the subtleties of arcane lore, and enough willfulness to utilize the potency of blood. A sorcerer who will tap into the power of blood must break free from social and cultural taboos in order to explore the full potential of magic. Blood magic can be as flashy as one using it to siphon the life energies from others, curse them with disease, or cleanse and heal the self or others. Yet it can be subtle. Reshaping the world requires more than spectacle. It takes time, effort, and transformations of the fundamental patterns that reside deep in the essence of all things. So now, blood magic aims to create a state of mastery over the self and the environment to remove any barrier between desire and fulfillment. Like I said, you had high blood magic is magic that enhances with ritual and the use of blood. By using such essence, the sorcerer is able to supercharge the act of ritual, which in turn empowers the spell. Ritual is nothing but mystical processes, by the way. You know, and a spell is a mystical program that you cast out. You see what I'm saying? That you program to the universal computer, and once that program is complete, it sends that energy back to you, and it manifests on the physical plane. which has been in turn empowers the spell, which has been brought about like any other spell. So a sorcerer is able to use his or her own maximum energy, the ritual boost, and the power residing within the blood to exponentially compound the potency of any spell. So there y'all go. Then you have low blood magic. It's direct magic. The sorcerer's intentions becoming results immediately and with little preparation. An adept might throw an offensive spell and use an aggressive hand gesture to provide some sympathetic component to her spell. The old adage of like to like, for example, my blood is your blood. So there's a link between us through our blood. We are both human. So the sympathy is already there. No need for complete rituals the majority of the time. You see what I'm saying? Thinking in this manner makes you able to cast quite effectively on anyone or anything regardless of shielding or naturally occurring defenses. So yeah, there you go. So look, it's another part here I want to read. There's 6 components to blood magic that we're gonna go over, known as the 6 pillars. There are 6 pillars that combine to form the system known as blood magic. The first 4 are the primary pillars of blood, will, knowledge, and unity. These represent the most fundamental elements of all blood magic and can be found in every aspect of the system. First, we're going to go over blood. The sorcerer seeks to draw upon the inherent potency of blood, more specifically the magical essence of blood. Blood in and of itself holds no power. It is merely a nutrient, rich fluid that permeates creatures complex enough to have circulatory systems. Pay attention to what I said. Blood in and of itself holds no power. It is merely a nutrient-rich fluid that permeates creatures complex enough to have circulatory systems. In its true form, blood magic is drawing upon the magical energy so readily abundant in blood. As the substance which carries the power of life itself, blood is simply the medium. Mere spilled blood has no power until the sorcerer comes along to unlock the energies within. It is the potency of blood that forms the entire basis for the tradition. Not only does it both carry and represent power in a physically tangible way, blood is dangerous. Using blood, one's own or that of others, either as a physical magic component or the basis of visualization and association, tests a sorcerer's limits. To spill blood as a component is violent by necessity. How else but through physical damage can blood be extracted from the body? To use blood as the key symbol or associative focus of a spell, even if none is shed, is considered aberrant thought and behavior by most society, magical or otherwise. Blood magic by its very nature tests social boundaries, breaks taboos, and forces both the sorcerer and those around him or her to come to grip with the potent and immediate reality of magic. Then you have will. You see what I'm saying? You have will. Of course, the use of magic is an act of will. What is will? Will is creative action. You see what I'm saying? Creative action. That's really what will is. So, knowledge, we already know knowledge is the ability to learn, analyze, and through that learning, analyze, and grow, and unlock the wisdom of that knowledge through application. So that's what knowledge is. So we can skip that. Let's see here. Next is unity. Unity in its most basic form, unity explains that everything has an essence and that this essence is both individual and shared. The second is that all energy is potential magical energy. This principle is taken from the scientific investigations of physicists. Einstein and others have come to the conclusion that all things are energy in some form or other, but that all things are fundamentally energy nonetheless. If everything is made up of a single existent we call energy, then all things are this singular energy in one form or another. What follows is the notion that magical energy is this singular energy in a specific form. But since magical energy is this singular energy just the same, then all forms of energy are potentially magical energy. With this principle in mind, one can see the infinite power of such a truth. If magic is fueled by magical energy, then all energy is potential magical energy. Then any act of magic is potentially infinite power. Potentially infinitely powerful. See what I'm saying? So then you got the last 2 pillars, which is sympathy and resonance. So yeah, these are the last 2 pillars. Sympathy. If we analyze the principles of thought on which magic is based, they will probably be found to resolve themselves into two laws. first, that light produces light, or that an effect resembles its cause, and second, that things which once been in contact with each other continue to act on each other at a distance, which is a form of quantum entanglement, after the physical contact has been severed. The former principle may be called the law of similarity, the latter the law of contact or contagion. From the first of these principles, namely the law of similarity, the magician infers that he or she can produce any effect he or she desires merely by imitating it. From the second, he or she infers that whatever he or she does to a material object will affect equally the person with whom the object was once in contact, whether it form part of his body or not. So yeah. So yeah. There you go. So in other words, you got two aspects. You got the law of similarity, which means we are all alike in the sense that we are the same beings on this planet. And then you have the second law, the law of contact or the law of contagion, which means that if we come into contact with each other, we make an energetic connection just off being in the same physical realm or reality with each other in that moment in time. And what's more, that connection never goes away because that person energy gets stored into your subconscious memory bank. And that's called the law of contact or contagion. You see what I'm saying? So that's what sympathy is. Let's go over here to resonance. Resonance and the self-propagation of magical energy. When a sorcerer gathers energy to fuel a spell, one must remember that the energy is not going to be pure. It will by all means be pure magical energy, but the energy itself will have what is called a resonance, its own frequency, rhythm, and identity. That's basically what the resonance is. Is this resonance or flavor? That's what the own frequency, rhythm, and identity is. Flavor, if you will, of that the energy that will determine some of its unique qualities. For example, if a wizard happens upon a burial ground and finds it necessary for whatever reason to cast a spell, the energy that he gathers will have the flavor, identity, and rhythms and frequencies of those burial grounds. Perhaps this visualization magical energy could easily be seen metaphorically as water. Water is water, but water from any source will be different on some level than water from another source. There's the still water, pond water, river water, ocean water, sewage, runoff, and precipitation. Water tends to take on characteristics of its environment. So it is with magical energy. It is for this reason that a witch from a rural area might find that her spell feels different when powered by magical energy from a city than from her home ground. You see what I'm saying? Most importantly, resonance tends to propagate. For example, the energy of a city powers wizards in its area of influence, and those wizards continue to use its power. In other words, what it's saying here when it says that the energy of a city powers wizards in its area of influence, and those wizards continue to use its power, which means that when you live in an area, you connect to that area, and you continuously channel the energy of that area until the day you die, because it also gets programmed into your subconscious memory bank. So there you go. So those are the 6 pillars of blood magic. Why is blood magic important to understand? Because the motherfuckers using it on you. No other reason. You see what I'm saying? Of course, the most important teaching of blood magic is it gives you ritualistic control over your own blood intelligence. Shit, if they can use your blood intelligence to do shit through blood sacrifice and fucking drawing your blood and putting them in blood packs and doing all this other crazy shit, why you can't use your own blood intelligence to get shit done? See what I'm saying? That's only natural. See what I'm saying? That's only natural. You see what I'm saying? So why you can't use your own damn blood intelligence? These motherfuckers damn sure using it any chance they get. So why you can't use it? So it's taboo whenever you take your own power back from these motherfuckers to use it to your advantage. But as long as they can use it for you, it's okay. That's the what's the word I'm looking for? Double standard in our society. As long as they can use it for you, it's fine. But if you take upon yourself the will and intelligence to use it for yourself, that's when it becomes taboo. Because they no longer have control over you. Or they risk losing control over you. And so what happens? This consensual reality matrix then the natural defenses of this pretty much program. This matrix begins to attack you, the defense system, and so you have the war against the defense system. Yeah, you at war because the defense system are gonna create what you like to call bad luck, which is energetic negatives. Is the programs or the codes of this system is create right now algorithms that are designed to fuck you up. You see what I'm saying? That's basically what it means when you go against its program, like they showed you in the Matrix. You see what I'm saying? When they went against the program, and what happens? Agents popped up. You see what I'm saying? Defense mechanisms, like they showed you in the movies. You see what I'm saying? Defense mechanisms show up to shut you back down. Those were the form of agents. You see what I'm saying? Sentient programs. They're designed to do one thing: search and destroy you. You see what I'm saying? In this case, in this case. But do know that you have loyalty and royalty inside your DNA. So yeah. So in summary, this is why blood is called liquid soul, because it is an intelligence on many different levels, which traces all the way back to the source of all, which is known as source memory. You see what I'm saying? When you get your memory back to the source, you really become a bad motherfucker then. He even has a chapter on the source in the Blood Magic book, because all things come and return back to the one source of all, the pleroma. You see what I'm saying? The primordial realms. So there you go. So there you go, Brown. Without our power, they have nothing. So there y'all go. That is blood codes. I'm pretty much done. Well, yeah, mainly, yeah. That's why they do all this blood sacrificing and shit. They want the genetic intelligence and information in your blood. You see what I'm saying? They can use blood to do many different things. They use blood to heal themselves. Blood transfusion. They at least do what? They fucking every so often, every 10 years, these motherfuckers have blood transfusion to revitalize their whole physical body. These fucking elites. The Queen of England been doing it for the last 50, 60 years she been in power. You see what I'm saying? Just have blood transfusion. Let me see, can I get my boy? He goes in on that. My boy Orion's Gate on here real quick. Cause he go in on that shit. Hold on here. We can go run over here real quick. My boy go in. And we'll wrap it up from there. Let's see. Let's see here. Hopefully they ain't taking it down. Well, he ain't taking it down. Here we go, the end of the vampires.
Bang, bang. What up, fam? Source God. Hey, yo, fam. I'm gonna give you guys an alternative story about this Wuhan virus, the CCP virus. You dig? This plague that's going around. Alright, I'm gonna give you guys an alternate view. It's a mess because a lot of you guys are like, I don't getting me misconstrued or some shit. So I just want to clear it up because I posted a video like months ago that actually went viral, fam. That shit went viral. That was the one that Kevin Gates reposted. Yeah, and that video was called the NPC Killer. Fam, and I stated in that video how this virus, this plague, is actually here to kill the vampires. Okay? It's here to kill the NPCs, the empty vessels, and the vampires. Anyone that's on the filthy vibration of the vampires. Because remember, family, vampires are low vibration beings. So if you have drawn your vibration down to match theirs, the virus will attack you as well. Okay? It works off a frequency. Okay? I told y'all before, it's a spiritual thing. Y'all not getting it. Okay. But check this out. Oh, let's just say this. The reason why so many people, like it barely affects people, right? Like a lot of people, family, especially not the children who are pure, families because they're pure. You understand? A lot of people, yeah, it doesn't even affect you. Like, I can't catch it. I said this before in the original video. I can't catch that shit. All right? If you're on the wave and on the frequency, if you are an original living man, woman, you cannot catch it. You see what I said? Straight up, and it's not about the color. I'm telling you that right now. Obviously, America proved that shit. Yeah, because in every other country, it's barely black people getting it, but in America, every black person getting that shit. See it? So here what it's for. It's for human artificials and anyone who's lowered their vibration down to the frequency of the vamps.
Yep.
Fam, the lab in Wuhan. Yeah, fam, this is a lab for reference. Bam.
Right? Was right down, or is, well, maybe was, because the whole place is flooded now. Anyway, the lab is right down the street from the wet market where they claim
that the CCP virus broke out from, right? Obviously, fam, the CCP didn't come from that fucking wet market. It came from the fucking lab, where they were working on bats and experimenting on all kind of animals with coronavirus. It's on the books. You see what I said? But family, you're the weirdest thing though. I mean, I'm telling you the real alternative story. See what I said? Gear up for this. Buckle your seatbelt. Alright. You see in the Wuhan lab, family, where they're at? They produced adrenochrome there. Yeah, fam, pause the video and read this. Bam.
okay? China is the factory of the world for everything, including the shit the elite fuck with.
You see how in LA now you can go to this place and pay $8,000 for a pint of young blood? Right now, legal. They claim they I don't know how they claim they get it, but it's legal. It's from $8,000 to $10,000 depending on how much you want to get, right? For a pint. Nigga. Definitely go look this up when you finish watching, fam. Bang. So, take that concept and move it to the Wuhan laboratories. In the Wuhan lab family, they produce adrenochrome. But how do you think they produce adrenochrome, family? You know how they do it. They torture children, mainly, and then drain their blood. Well, China's about that, dog. China don't give a fuck. Okay? In that lab, underneath, thousands of motherfucking yards into the ground, they have rooms full of cages with children in their family, and wrapped in plastic, and they torture them with little electrodes and shit like that, and then have a thing here in one arm just draining their blood out constantly till they die. They don't waste them like you know how they sacrifice them in those little rituals and then drink their blood, and that's just a one-time use. Family, I'm talking about they have them stored like food, and they just drain them.
Yeah, like we showed you in the spoon.
Expire. Okay, that's what they did at that lab in Wuhan. Believe it or not, it was an adrenochrome factory. They're all over the fucking place. Family, where do you think these wickeds get all these gallons of blood to drink? Like, for instance, this politician that got caught in the airport not too long ago with a suitcase full of blood bags. See it? Never got prosecuted or anything because he's a real big politician. Just pull up the story about a politician getting caught at the airport with a suitcase full of blood. You'll see it, and you'll see who too. You're gonna be like, dang, yeah man, a famous nigga. So family, with that being said, where you think all these wickeds all around the world who drink gallons of blood by the tons, where you think they get all this blood from? Fam, it comes from factories. And you really think these wickeds are not gonna capitalize on that? You know how much adrenochrome costs? Fuck. That shit's more expensive than crack, cocaine, gold, any of that shit. Probably only melanin more expensive than that shit. You see me? But anyways, China not letting no business opportunity pass, especially when it comes to the elite vampires. You see me? Because that's who run China, just like that's who run here. If you guys don't know already, yeah, this world is run by literal vampires. All those movies you watch with Count Dracula and all them niggas sucking people's blood to stay young, and then you hear about adrenochrome, people taking adrenochrome to stay young. 1 + 1 = 8. Yo, man, family, for real though. It's real shit. All those movies, I tell you, it comes from the collective consciousness. They don't make nothing up. That shit's your real life. The world is run by vampires. Where you think they get all this blood drinking, all this adrenochrome? Why do they even have a name for adrenochrome? Think about it. Think about Vlad Dracula. Vlad Tepes, a.k.a. Vlad the Impaler. Yo.
Yeah, vampire name.
The original vampire. Bang.
You talk about that the man that is the ancestor of President Bush and who leave a blood clot people in a power right now.
Who was that?
Think about it. Think about Vlad Dracula. You got Vlad Tepes, aka Vlad the Impaler. Yo, this Vlad Tepes, fam.
Vlad Tepes, the original vampire. So the story of Dracula we now know is real. You see what I'm saying? The story of Dracula is real. Vladimir Tepes, the original vampire. Goddamn, let's continue here.
The original vampire. You talk about that the man that is the ancestor of President Bush and who leave a blood clot people in a power right now. Vlad Tepes. Drink blood by the gallons. Okay? They've been doing this shit for a long time. Don't sit here pretending like this vampire shit is some joke. See? The royal family of England are all hemophiliacs. You know what that means? Their blood doesn't clot. If they get a cut, it bleeds forever. Yeah. Vampire. They have to get blood transfusions constantly to stay alive. The Queen of England, how you think she's been alive so long? Fam, ask anyone in England about this. They know. The Queen gets a full body blood transfusion every 10 years.
I just told y'all.
They suck out the blood from one side and put in all the new baby blood on the other side in the hospital they got under the motherfucking Windsor Palace. This is a fact. It's on the book. Our blood transfusion because she was quote unquote anemic. That fam, and they travel with blood bags. Every 10 years, full body blood transfusion. That's how come she's been alive so long. So don't play with me. Cause y'all take everything so fucking literal. You think vampires gotta be running around? No. The vampires and the wickeds in society are all those uppity people who act like they're so nice. Like Epstein's and them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They act like they're the coolest, most charismatic people. They're not mean. They don't curse. They act so nice. Those are vampires, nigga. That's how they flex. The wicked don't flex like they're wicked, dumbasses. They flex like they're nice. Duh. Alright. So yeah, back to this factory in China. The adrenochrome factory in China, family. That's where the major supply of the blood for the elites all around the world, especially in America, comes from. So what happened, family, is some angel got into the lab, nigga, and tainted all the adrenochrome supply. See it? Yeah. Yeah, man. Broke a seal.
By angel, he mean Anunnaki. The Anunnaki been infiltrating all the bases all across the planet. That explosion that happened in Panama recently, that was Anunnaki infiltrating the base to blow it up from within. Yeah, they've been doing this for some time now. They started with Wuhan and been working their way around. Of course, y'all know about the explosion in Lebanon, the United Arab Emirates. I showed y'all all that in my Anunnaki videos. You see what I'm saying? There's been explosions happening all over the planet, wiping these motherfuckers out, either from within, due to the Anunnaki infiltrating the bases, or they just bombing their asses or nuking their asses from their ships. Let's continue here. They starships.
And all the adrenochrome got polluted with this plague. That's why you see all the vampires now looking all old and crazy, dying off, looking crazy. You see how they aged overnight, a lot of them? Look like mummies like Celine Dion. Oh my God. You know what I'm talking about. Look at Johnny Depp. Yeah, fam, it's the same excuse. It's supposedly for a movie role. Bumbuckclot, yo.
Oh,
So what?
yeah.
He's like Celine Dion. Oh my God. You know what I'm talking about. Look at Johnny Depp.
Damn, look how old she got. She just shrunk up. She wouldn't look 3 years ago.
Yeah, fam, it's the same excuse.
Man. They literally look pale and sick. They dying. That's why you want to send your children back to school, so they can continue to kidnap them. You see what I'm saying? Don't send your kids back to school. They may not make it out that motherfucker. They may actually lock up the schools due to corona infection, and from there they'll come kidnap your kids. Watch yourselves, people. Let us stop playing their game, because their game of life It's our game of death. Remember that.
Supposedly for a movie role. Bumbuckler, yo, when they don't get them adrenochrome, Clinton, we call up them name, we don't give a fuck. Oh, and the dude who caught in the airport with the blood bags was Al Gore. Yeah, it don't matter, fuck them. Yeah, fam, if they don't get their adrenochrome, you see how they start looking overnight like a Skeletor. That's what's going on. And I know you guys think that a lot of celebrities and stuff haven't gotten fucked up. They have. You can go on YouTube, put in a video, celebrities that have died of the plague, the CCP. Put it in, you'll see. There's a long list. They just don't talk about it. They don't promote it. They don't want you to know, okay?
Go check out Miss Flubroom's video called They Lived. And she go in on that shit for like 3 hours. On what the fuck going on with them celebrities and all them elites and shit. How they just spontaneously combusting, how they just disintegrating, how they body parts falling off and all type of crazy shit. Because they not getting that adrenochrome, so their body's just shriveling up into a withered husk and they just die out.
You think they want you to know everything, even though they don't. I don't know how your logic works. I don't try to figure it out. I don't try to figure it out, okay? But yeah, the blood supply for them was tainted, and it always will be tainted, all of them, from now on and forever. There's a new thing in the atmosphere that if you drink blood, family, you're done for. You see me? But that's what the CCP virus is really about, fam. It's for all those adrenochrome drinkers, all the blood drinkers. They're the ones who are getting killed off by it. It poisoned their blood supply completely. So now they're starving to death. Not only are some of them dropping dead, because they are, they're starving. That's all, I don't know what else to tell you, but that's what's going on. That's what this virus is about. That's why I'm always telling you guys, just stay clean and stay high on a high frequency. And it can't catch you because, like I said, it works off of frequencies, attaches itself to certain frequencies like a magnet. Yeah, man, and the vampire them I get fuck up. Just like I'm telling you guys, look how this shit caused the earth to heal. The earth is healing because the shit shut down. But the vampires are so desperate, they're like, no, we gotta open it back up. We gotta do it. Yeah. And family, a lot of the people who are acting like they're normal people, just regular everyday people, because it's not just the elite doing this. A lot of the ordinary everyday people you see running around hype can't take the system being shut down. They can't handle it. They're vampires or familiars. And fam, as far as the sex trafficking goes, yeah, that shit's fucked up, right? But can I tell you something?
If y'all don't know what a familiar is, they humans who want to become vampires through selective process. Go watch the first Blade movie. They talk about familiars hard in it. And they get marked by the vampires. And once they do enough work for these vampiric elites, then they get initiated into their fucking order of archons and they become vampires themselves. Oh, this is all real. This shit ain't made up. Who is this guy? This Orion's Gate on YouTube. Just type in his name, it's gonna come up New Earth Productions. He changed his name recently.
This lockdown made it harder for sex traffickers because you were home with your families and your kids. They weren't in the streets where they could just get snatched up. Just think, okay? Yeah, man. This virus, I told you, is the NPC vampire killer. That's why it don't affect people like that. That's why
NPC is non-playable
character. Shit to you. It's a planned thing. It was made for that. Okay? It's a bioweapon. Just not made by who you think. Yeah, man. So anyway, family, that is that one telling us that you know, you don't have to believe it. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because what you think or believe won't change anything anyway. You know what I'm saying? What I think or believe won't change anything, I guess, you know, because it is what it is. And, yeah, it is. You'll find out soon enough. Yeah, man, but that's the reason why it's not killing people like that, fam. It's not because it doesn't exist. It is because it's not for you. It's only for you if you go become a blood drinker, become a familiar, or you're just a wicked fucking person. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be wicked either. You can just be a dumbass, eating all the junk food and all the fuckery and just polluting your body. Because a lot of the food you eat, family, is mixed with human blood. Like a lot of sodas and drinks and shit have aborted fetal cells in them that they use for the flavor enhancer. Like, fam, why would anyone do that? Why would they take ground up babies and make energy pills, for instance? Yeah, go look that up if you haven't seen it. They busted a whole factory of pills that were all made from babies, ground up babies, and they're selling them as energy pills.
Here's your receipt, fam. But go look up some more on it. Bam.
Yeah, fam. So, yeah, man, just go do your research, family, and check this shit out. You'll see what I'm talking about. We live in a vampire world, and the vampires are getting murdered off now, and that's what's going on. And they're trying to get you guys to side with them. You know? Like, I don't know. It's really fucking weird, but yeah. It's a vampire disease, dog. The NPC killer. That's what man said. Anyway, family, y'all stay up, man, and stay blessed. Like I said, just stay healthy and stay wise. That shit can't fuck with you. Stay in the light of the Most High, my nigga. Stay up. Bang, bang.
No, see this?
To protect the individuals in that household.
It's like the technology they're using
We can call on
to
the
cloak it is failing them.
Yeah, fam.
Now, notice he said it was a cure for the vampire disease. You see what I'm saying? In the first Blade movie, the sister finds a cure for vampirism. Damn, let me see here. Let me see. Well, they actually talk about it. The cuz in the movie. Let me see here. You know, they ain't gonna drop no signs. I'll have to have prepared that for y'all. Like I thought, they ain't put it in here. It's a Latin term for that shit, y'all. It's a Latin term for it. Hold on. But Wesley teaches old girl who teaches the sister in the movie about vampirism. But that's what the Latin word actually means, vampirism. And so he teaches her about it, and she goes and finds a cure to cure vampirism. You see what I'm saying? She cured that shit. You see what I'm saying? Of herself. That's what he talking about. See, they put it in movies earlier. They put it in the form of a liquid cure in the movie, but it's actually in the air now. It's a gaseous cure, and it's killing off all vampiric entities. You see what I'm saying? And for those who wish to be cured of vampirism through their high consciousness, through their spiritual work, like the star seeds, who wants to be cured of that shit now has the opportunity through doing their spiritual work. You see what I'm saying? So in soul work. So there you go. So that's what she represented. And you know, Blade always kept the thirst in check by taking a blue serum, which was the throat chakra, truth. And I wish I knew the color of the serum that she created. I don't even know her name. It's been so long since I've seen the movie. Vampire Cure. Let me see. You know they ain't gonna put that on YouTube. I'd be shocked. They did. Let me see. But yeah, go back and watch the first Blade movie. They tell you how to cure vampirism. And sure, they tell you how to purge the energy. You see what I'm saying? You know, of what they've done to you. So yeah. There you go. But that pretty much wraps up this lecture, which I call Blood Codes. Y'all now know what it is. Y'all now know the gang. Y'all now know what's going on. Y'all now know why blood is so powerful. Blood is life. Life is blood. Blood. You know, for them, it's blood over everything because they don't have nothing else. You see what I'm saying? For us, it's blood in unison with our spiritual energies. You see what I'm saying? And soul energies. And we can take that further and transmuting this anatomical body into something new. So, there y'all go. Any questions? What time is it? 4:41. Any question? There you go, Nuba. It ain't gonna work. FL Judge talks about vampires and the Dead Sea Scrolls. Vegetarianism or veganism, I mean, it helps, but really we're going back to the old ways of just eating solar energy and life force energy. That's all you're going to need. Solar energy feeds the soul, life force energy feeds the spirit. And the body will follow. These here have been compromised or tampered with, so that's why they're not operating properly. So yeah. The ones we're in now, these meat bags we in right now. So, it'll judge their connection between vampires and reptilians. In a way, some of them, some pale skinned, gray reptilians. That's what they call. They need blood. Notice it's a degeneration of all the species, you know, and the degenerated species hang out with each other. You always got pale this or tall white that. They always pale or grayed out or something, you know. It's just an occurrence that these motherfuckers have done something in their realm, you know, all this mixed breeding and degenerating their genetics to a point where their bodies don't work properly anymore. And so they are forced to do these toxic things. You see what I'm saying? And they lost their connection to the source realm, so they're forced to do these toxic things. And it's a group of them: gray reptilians, of course the archons. So it's some fucked up insectoids as well. A few rogue Anunnaki. Just a few. It ain't many. Who just that fucked up. You know, you always got a few fucked up in the group. Some rogue Arcturians. So it's a bunch of rogue group, Nordic Pleiadians, you know, the white Pleiadians. And it's a few other groups. Some groups out there from Beetlejuice. You also got this group known as the Trappists. That's where all your trap music and shit come from. I may talk about that in a later video. We're gonna go in on their ass when I feel like talking about music again. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go, L Judge. Hope that helps. No, it's a soul thing, Wallace. It's a soul thing. It ain't got shit to do with race in that sense. No, it's a soul ascension. It ain't got, if your ass ain't got a soul, you ain't even qualified. That's the fucked up part. So you do all the spiritual work you want. If you ain't got a soul, then you'll get wiped out. Cause your soul is what's immortal. You see what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of these elites know. That's why they're trying to get you to sell your soul, so it can be trapped down here with their asses for such amount of time or whatever. So yeah. So yeah, some white people do have souls, you know. And if they doing the spiritual work, changing their minds and hearts, then they are ascend into some other version of themselves. But I'm gonna get up out of here. Marvin Jones, y'all put the word out. Share this with your friends. Let them know what it is. Y'all can check out my other occult lectures on YouTube. Hit the middle of that water. And if y'all want to donate, you know, the Cash App is mcjnetwork. And I'm out. Peace.